Just be careful with the last one. Last one is kind of weak, so you could break this one off. Ours is fine, but you could see it starts flexing when you start moving it. So there's two metal clips on the front and the back of it, and then just like these lock-in ones, top and bottom, but they just popped out pretty easy. You seen that? Alright, so when that's out, now we're gonna have 4 Phillips. 2 big ones, 2 small ones. I don't know if this one catch them. It's actually 1 big one, 3 small ones. It's kind of hard to zoom in on this one. Make sure you take all the screws out. You have another Phillips. Now we're just gonna work around the door panel, popping the clips out. We're using this plastic wedge tool. It's usually sold in window. Alright, so now you're gonna have clips along this top piece, and these clips, the way they come out is you pull the panel out, but you do have to release them with the tool. So we're starting off the front and just kind of working our way through the back. You see the clips right there? Okay, there you go. Now you gotta disconnect. Let me see. So that's the speaker wire. Alright, so once you disconnect these 2 plugs in the front, that master window switch, speaker, then you can have this cable to the door. The way this one works is just pull it up and it unlocks it. It's pretty easy. Then you can have another plug. So total 4 plugs plus the door lock cable. And then there's a lot more plugs actually. This one's pretty easy, it just pops out. Okay, so this is the driver's side door. Door card, door panel, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so once you remove the screws outside, the Phillips on the front of it, these are the clips you're going to be working around, pulling or popping them out of these plastic clips. As you can see, they're pretty much all the way around the whole door panel. And these are the ones the top ones pop into. So usually on some cars you're gonna have to lift the door panel up. On this one it pops out, as long as you put some pressure on these clips so you don't break the door panel apart. Alright, now we're going to be removing this front left window, the door glass. This is a 2012 Range Rover Sport. We have the door panel off already. Now we're going to take off this window motor so we have access to lower the glass manually. We're going to be using a T25 Torx. So your glass is going to be in a manual mode, or I'm sorry, neutral mode, so you can move it up and down now. Now we're using a 10mm socket. Alright, so once you pop this in out of all the screws, make sure you could lower this thing. And we have the glass down, so the bracket or that part is down. And you press on the back piece and pull on the glass up. So you're going to release the front lock, and now you're going to have one in the back as well. Okay, we already did the back right before I started the video. And then you just gotta feed the glass. It's kind of hard to get you. Okay, so kind of tilt it towards the front. Lift it off from the back, and it will just come out. So these are the clips. So towards the front, you have the same thing where you just press on the tab forward and it unlocks it. Just make sure you pull in on the glass when you unlock it, that way it doesn't pop back in. And same thing for the rear as well. Alright, so the way it was is pop this out, you move the glass to the side, and you basically press on this tab. Рома, покажи, как нажать. Press on this tab, and at the same time you pull the glass out, and basically it unlocks it and you pull the glass out. And same thing for the front. We end up taking off the speaker, now we're going to remove the So we're removing the glass guider rail inside to give us a little bit more room to pull the window regulator out. The whole assembly, we can't get it through the door. It just gets stuck in that area. It's just impossible. Right, so now the rail is out of the way, and we'll see if we can pull it out. There you go. So for us, that rail was in the way. So you have to, I don't know if you have to, But once we remove this rail, the guider, the glass guider, and towards the front of the door, it gave us a lot more room to pull this window regulator assembly. So this is where your glass clips in into these holes, and when you press on the tab like this, it basically unlocks and you pull the glass out of it. So there's 2 of them on each glass. And this is your window regulator assembly. Best way was for us to lower the glass all the way down, and then you're going to be able to move this to the side, and you're going to be able to get to press on these tabs. And just don't forget to like the video and subscribe. We appreciate all the support. Now we're going to be removing the front left door actuator lock mechanism. And this is a 2012 Range Rover Sport. So we already got the door panel off, the glass, the window regulator out of the way. Now we have easy access to get to the lock actuator. Alright, so once you remove the cover, there's going to be a T25 Torx that's holding the door handle. You do have to go at an angle if you can see it how it is. Alright, so once you get the screw off in the back, ours was missing a plastic cover, but it comes off with the cover. If you have the cover, it will just come off with it. Right, we actually missed a screw. T25 Torx. Alright, so now you gotta pull the handle and you go from inside. Basically, you gotta take a screwdriver, Рома, закрой ее. Закрой, ты отпустил ее? Открой, брат. Она закрыта сейчас? Да. Let's go. Okay. So we end up breaking ours, but you kind of get an idea how it is. And don't forget to unplug this. Just okay. Pull the wire out so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, there you go. Okay, Alright, so we end up breaking this door handle, but I'll show you what happened. Find a broken piece. Yeah, I think it just fell under. Alright, so how was it like this? So this is the way it's going to be in the door. And when you have somebody pull on it, there's going to be a tab the one towards you, the closest one to you. So on this tab you have to pull it kind of out, and then the person pulling the door handle has to try to pull at the same time when you're pressing on this tab. We broke ours. That's the first time we ever removed this kind of door handle. The videos are slightly different for the rears that we came across, so now we know. So good luck. Okay, so now this is going to unlock the internal handle. So basically it's a locking pin. Now you're going to be able to slide the internal handle towards the front of the car. So the bracket is off now. We're going to continue removing the door lock actuator. We're using a T30 Torx to remove the 3 screws. Through this. This is just going to release the harness. Alright, so the lock actuator comes out with this bracket, door handle bracket, and this is the piece that you need to pop out. Basically it holds the door handle into the door. And we did have to remove the window, the glass, the window regulator assembly, the rail assembly, to get to the door lock actuator. Otherwise I don't think you're gonna be able, there's no way to pull it out without removing that stuff.